Just need another like 25 hours.
Okay, we are live back on Comic Art Live. And I am Mark Walters with BigFanboy.com. Welcome to the Kirby's Comic Art panel. We are so excited about this one. We had so much fun with this last time. I want to introduce our panel here. We've got Casey Parsons. Say hello, Casey.
Hello, Casey. Hi, Gerald Parel and Michael Marcus, everyone.
Gerald Parel. There he is.
Hello.
Do we have to make moves?
There's anyone here?
Yes, you have to make moves. The very lovely Helena Masellis. Hello, Helena.
Yes.
And Michael Ivan.
Yeah, that's me. Thanks. Hello.
Hey, Michael. And then joining us just now, special surprise guest, ladies and gentlemen, David Mack.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Hey!
How's it going, buddy? My friends.
I'm choking on wine.
Thank you guys for being here. This is so awesome. We're very, very thrilled to have everybody here. And huge thanks to Annabelle and all the folks over there at Kirby's Comic Art. This is going to be a fun panel, I can already tell. So how's everybody doing?
Oh yeah.
Good.
Great.
Awesome. I've never been this good.
Never been this good.
Never.
And I should point out, this is truly a worldwide panel. Where is everybody calling in from? Casey, let's start with you. Where are you calling in from?
I'm Southern Ontario in Canada, so just outside of Toronto, basically.
And okay, Gerald?
Well, I'm from France, but I'm actually in Berlin, in Germany.
In Berlin, okay.
Yes.
Helena?
Well, I'm Brazilian and I live in Italy, so we have that too.
So chill.
Fantastic. Michael?
I'm from Slovakia and I still live here.
Very, very cool. And David?
I'm in Venice Beach, Los Angeles.
There you go. And I'm in Dallas, Texas. We are truly a worldwide panel. I love this. This is so great.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for being here and being a part of Comic Art Live. We did a Kirby's Comic Art panel on the last one, and it was so much fun. And so when Bill and I were talking, we were saying that this is something that, we want to make this tradition. It's got to be like, every time we do this, we want to have a Kirby's Comic Art panel. So this is a great way to close out the event. So I guess the first question I have for you guys, how's everybody holding up with COVID and everything? It seems like we're kind of hopefully on the tail end of that. And how's everybody feeling about that right now? Are you guys staying safe out there?
Yeah, I got vaccinated. I'm good.
Oh wow, I'm so jealous.
First or both? You got both already?
No, the next one's scheduled soon. But
Yeah,
I also have my first.
got first.
Great.
Yeah. Just on Friday.
Yeah, Casey, they're running a little behind up there, right? Like a friend of mine just got his first, and he said his next one isn't until like August or something.
Yeah, I think mine's scheduled for September. My second one. Hopefully that gets bumped up. We're slowly catching up. We were way behind there recently, but we're slowly catching up now.
Also want to say hello to everybody in the chat. If you guys have questions, you can post it in the chat, and I will be sure to ask those questions to our panel here. So don't be embarrassed. Don't be shy. Ask your questions. I'll be happy to relay those as well. So, we've got a lot of nice comments here. Robert Glover, great to see you all. David, love the Elric. Let's see. Anchor Jetly, howdy y'all. Ricky Beans, what's up, team? Miss you all.
Yeah.
Hey, Ricky.
Matt Moore, hello everyone. Paul Dunn gives a clap. And Christian San Jose, hello everyone. Thank you guys for being here in the panel. That's or in the chat. We appreciate you guys showing up today. Robert Wilby, hi everyone. All right, so let's get right into it. What have you guys been working on? What's everybody staying busy with? Casey, let's start with you, and we'll kind of go around the panel and find out what you guys been doing.
There's been a lot of commissions actually. Like since COVID started, like the commissions have been kind of flooding in. Recently, did some covers with Kirby's Comic Art. I believe she did the drop already. There's a Haha, the last issue, and Ice Cream Man.
Awesome.
Lucky to be a part of that. And then just doing some indie stuff with some local guys, running like a horror anthology magazine thing. Just like a fun passion project. We still keep doing that. So, yeah.
Very, very cool. Gerald, what have you been up to?
Well, I've been doing like good series of covers since January, actually, because I'm between jobs right now, which means I even have more jobs to do. And I don't know, it's like going also thanks to Kirby and the team, the Kirby team that just put a lot of pressure with all those talents. Going back to traditional art has been quite a challenging journey, but really fun. And totally. Yeah.
Very good. Helena, how about you?
Well, I've been working a lot, which is super nice. I just had my first cover for a quite popular Italian comic that got out 2 weeks ago.
Which
and
one?
I just did a cover for an Image Comics that will be out in a bit. I have no idea when, but that will be out, and I'm super nervous because it's the first American cover. So
Can you disclose which cover?
Oh, that well.
What? Yeah, can you tell us what the cover is?
It's for how it's called, Two Moons by Jordan Arcudi and Valerio Giangiordano. I mean, he's Italian. I should be able to pronounce his name, but I'm not. And I'm finishing my new book. I have a deadline in a week, and I'm no near having it done yet. So yay!
Very cool.
There's that.
Congratulations, that's great. Michael, what about you? What are you up to?
Yeah, I'm similar to Gerald because I used to work with him, so I'm in between jobs. So I used to do a lot of digital stuff for gaming, in either video games or tabletop games. So I'm continuing that, and I joined the Kirby's comic art recently to go back to traditional a bit more. I used to do it before, and I used to do some comic stuff for Top Cow and so on. So now it's I'm here for 2 months, I think, or something. So I'm actually enjoying getting back to traditional again. So I'm kind of switching between digital and traditional, and that's really exciting. It's challenging, but it's a lot of fun.
Which do you find to be more difficult?
It depends. Each of those has difficult parts and easy parts. With digital, you can always improve the stuff kind of, but that also takes you longer because then you just improve, and you suddenly realize you're actually ruining it, not improving.
Yeah. I was about to jump in because it's the pleasure of going on tradition. Traditional is each step you're doing is a definitive choice, almost. Yep. While on computer, there's so many options that you actually might pass next to the good one,
And I really enjoy the limited options of traditional and some of the kind of mistakes that you do, for example, with ink, that are not actually mistakes. That actually makes it magical, kind of. So it's I actually love both, but yeah, I'm trying to have the traditional to inform my digital and so on.
That's great.
Let's see how it goes. Thanks.
David, what has been going on with you? What have you been up to lately? By the way, I have to show you this, David, because I literally just went to a comic book store yesterday I'd never been to, and the one book I picked up was this. So.
Oh yeah, right on. Yeah, that's cool news.
Fortuitous.
That Echo character that I created over 20 years ago. There's news that I heard news that she's going to get her own series, and she's also making an appearance in the Hawkeye TV show. So that's been a cool buzz. There was a creator-owned project we did a couple years ago called Cover that Bendis and I worked on, and Zoo, who hasn't showed up. Maybe she'll show up here, but she's in Singapore, so she's probably sleeping. But she was a part of that too, and we're developing that as a TV series at HBO Max right now. So that's lots of Zoom calls, with Bendis and the team on that. So that's going on. A lot, Zoom calls for other projects, and keep me busy, doing covers and other things in between.
Do you guys miss conventions, going to conventions and whatnot?
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah. No,
I'm kidding. I do miss traveling,
I never
meeting
thought
people.
I'd say it, but I do.
Well, I should probably get one of our questions we have in the chat. Let me see here if I can pronounce this. Chthonic irrigation. I guess is that like a technical thing? Chthonic irrigation. How does a virtual con compare to a pre-COVID convention for you all? That's a good question.
Less hugs.
Less hugs.
Less smells.
Less con funk.
Yeah.
The energy is different. I mean, this is great, right? Like seeing people at all is nice. Like seeing these faces that you don't get to see all the time is nice. Like we chat on Messenger and stuff like that, but we don't really get to see each other and chat. So it's a different buzz when you're in the same room together at the same tables. You know, there's a real energy that I think when you're at a convention that you feed on, and just interacting with, you know, everyone coming to the tables and stuff. It's so different. So this is just kind of like the best we can do for now.
Yeah.
Being online. But I mean, this is, you know, it's great. I mean, like, what else can you do, right? Like, this is.
No, I agree.
It's the best out of a bad situation, but. Yeah.
Hey, Casey, I think we talked about this last time too, like about how, like, when you're at a convention, you're kind of stuck at the table, like just looking at your art. You don't really get up and walk around and see everybody. And so, yeah, it's great to be able to be here and all be in the same room together and see what we're working on. And yeah, it's wonderful.
I mean, that's how I normally am. I don't normally even like go to the washroom or eat or whatever. Like, but like the first time I was in New York, yeah, for sure, I'd be up running around and trying to see people because that was like a totally different experience for me.
Yeah.
Something David might be used to, but yeah, it's exciting for me.
David, you've done a lot of cons in your career. What is it like for you to just all of a sudden not be going to conventions? Is it kind of liberating, or does it feel weird?
Yeah, it feels weird. You know, like the first 2 or 3 months, it was kind of like, oh, this is probably good for me to take 2 or 3 months and, you know, not be in a different country every 2 weeks or something and just focus. But, you know, the last time all of us saw each other was in Bologna, Italy, in February of last year. And so we kind of all like left Italy or did that convention like right before things got hit really hard in Italy in February. And I'm just so grateful that we had that experience. You know, we all went to Rome and Florence. And, you know, there was a whole group of us and like there was a great camaraderie and it was just a fantastic, you know, experience. And we did, I did walk around and look at like, you know, the other artists that were there and the art dealers and, you know, made some trades for some original art and bought some original art and, you know, bought things from the other artists there. It was such an incredible experience. And we had like a similar experience in New York, you know, a couple months before that, and also in Lake Como, Italy. So we were really looking forward to Lake Como again, New York again, and, you know, continuing this sort of great, like, we were sort of on a great momentum, you know, with the KCA team.
Yeah.
Let me see. I've got another question here in the chat. Robert Glover says, Gerald, where did the guitar playing Dream and Death idea come from? The Sandman collection was amazing by the entire Kirby comic art team.
So you're gonna hate me for saying that, but I didn't read the book. I just know the graphic for like probably my whole from my teenage years to now. So like it's a very long time. And I still didn't have a chance to read the book. I have it here somewhere. I'm not lying, but it's too far away and I'm stuck here. But I haven't had a chance. But like, so when the Kirby team started to talk about that, I was like, shit, I have to read it. And I can't find the time, you know? So like all I could come up with was a joke, which was like, Enter Sandman. So that's why I put the guitar on the character. Actually, I got caught into doing it, and that's how it started.
You can see behind him, though, he's a collector. He's got a lot of guitars.
By the way, I just want to point out that Gerald wins the contest for best T-shirt today with his Lion Heart shirt from the Van Damme movie. So, Christian San Jose says, Christian San Jose says, speaking of, when are we getting another Sandman catalog? I'm here for all the Sandman art. That might be a question for Annabelle to answer. I don't know if she's in the chat or not. So, yeah, I'll leave that to her to answer that. Eric Chung says, hi, Kirby's Comic Art team. Let's see. We've got William Lawson says, after the success of the Sandman catalog, asking the question, whose idea was that? Are there plans for another character set of close focus by the team? I think they're basically it's the second person asking, where's the next one? So I don't know if you guys have answers for that. I think that's probably better suited for Annabelle to answer.
Yeah, it's for Annabelle. We are ready.
They're ready to go.
No, we're not. Wait.
So, by the way, guys, for those of you in the chat, we're going to be keeping an eye on these pieces that they're working on, and we'll make sure and show at the very end of it. If you guys want to kind of show your progress while we're doing this, feel free to do that as well. Hi, everyone. Greetings from rainy Hungary, says David Jacoy. Hey, David. Good to see you. Victor Hung says, hi, all. Christian San Jose says, I'm disappointed in Gerald. What? I'm disappointed in the answer. So, because he's disappointed that you haven't read it, is what he's saying.
Yes,
let's see.
I'm so sorry.
Brian Burns says, hey. William Lawson says, right on. You guys are awesome. I'm a repeater. There's Annabelle in the chat. She can answer your questions. Look for Kirby's Comic Art. She's the one to ask those questions about the upcoming catalogs. Robert Wilby asked a question. David, with Echo coming back to TV, with Echo coming back to TV, any other characters returning? And then I guess he mentions also Jessica Jones. Do you know anything about that?
I've heard rumors, so I'm not the official word on it, but I've heard that Jessica is making an appearance in other of the Marvel TV shows, and I heard that Daredevil, as Charlie Cox also was. That's not me giving the official word about anything, but I've heard things online.
Very, very good. Ryan Starr says, hello, everyone. Jeg says, hey, Kirby team. So cool to see you all. Pity Annabelle couldn't join. Jeg, Annabelle is actually in the chat with you. So if you have any questions for her, you can ask her that in the chat. She'll be happy to answer. So let's kind of take a quick look and see what you guys are working on. Casey, can we hold that just a little bit closer to the camera?
Yeah, I completely started over just before we went live there.
Okay.
I was working on other things this morning, but yeah, I'm just gonna try and.
And Gerald, can we get a quick peek of what you're working on there?
Sure. So, because of Annabelle sharing what Helena was doing.
Oh yeah, it's totally my fault. Yes. Oh yeah.
Yes, it's your fault.
Amazing.
Helena, what are you working on right now?
Well, this is the piece that started it all. Like just Annabelle getting super excited and just we will do like a fellow Daredevil and Elektra theme live. So this was the how do you say, the villain?
The starting point.
Yeah. Oh no, the villain is better. Like just he's the bad guy.
But it's Daredevil. He's the good guy, right?
Is the goat devil, and now what I'm doing. Oh yeah, sorry. Like goats have been like the whole team for today, so we're the goat team.
No worries at all. Michael, what do we got going there? Oh wow, look at that. That's great.
Yeah, it's Elektra. It's because of Helena. Because she did Daredevil, so yeah.
Yeah,
it kind of started from there. Yeah. It's like the Sandman drop. It starts with some like small thing, and then it's like a snowball,
Oh yeah, just start small. I see. I can see that. Just simple design, and
Okay, I'm shirking my duties here. Hang on, I'm going to make this full screen so that everybody can see. All right, Michael, I'm going to start with you. So hold on, let me.
Okay. Wait. So
okay, I'm figuring out. There we go. All right, now let's make Michael full screen. There we go.
Is it okay? Do you see it? Fine?
Yeah, that looks great. Terrific.
Oh, thanks. You see, it's like completely not digital because it makes everything by itself. All the mistakes. I love them.
Okay, and then Helena, I'm going to go back to you for a second, and we'll show your piece full screen if you want to.
This one was the
Yeah, there we go.
Because Annabelle made like psychological terror over me. No, I'm joking. Sorry, Annabelle. And then I'm drawing Hol Electra right now because I'm boring like that.
Yeah. And then Gerald, I'm going to make you full screen for a second. If you could re-show us your piece, I'll make sure everybody gets to see it. Why is this not working? Hang on 1 second. Okay, there we go.
So
yeah, there we go.
Same story.
Oh,
cool!
Crazy, eh?
Very, very cool.
Could have been Batman, but turns out to be Daredevil.
And then Casey, I'm going to go back to you for a second. Let's look at what you're working on.
Starting in the first few seconds, like compared to those guys.
Okay. Very cool. It's all to see the process and everything. That's fantastic. David, I know you're not working on a piece, but do you by chance have a piece of art nearby that we could just like drool over?
Yeah. It's so I'm working on some. I didn't realize this. It was a show in.
No, that's totally okay. We're just glad you're here.
Yeah, I'm working on a couple non-comic things that I can't show right now, but it's like music, like some music-related covers. Somehow I'm working with two different large companies that are both based in London at the same time, both for music-related imagery, and I don't think either of them know about each other. But I have these Zoom calls that I have to coordinate in London. Like, it's my early morning, it's their nighttime. But yeah, next chance I get, I'll get up and I'll grab some other art. But by the way, did all of you like make a coordinated effort to do Daredevil related imagery?
Helen's fault.
It's Annabelle's fault.
It's laziness.
So it was only a few hours ago, really.
Yeah, it was.
I'm trying to remember when we did this last time. Wasn't it Elektra? Was everybody doing Elektra?
It was
Red Sonja.
Yeah.
It was Red Sonja. That's what it was. It was Red Sonja. Okay.
Yeah, and then I think we did Charlie Brown or something. Like for the last 10 minutes.
Okay, so let's see. We've got some more questions here in the chat. Let me see if I can get to these here. Ooh, wow, I'm behind. Okay, so here we go. Annabelle, can we get a Harley Quinn portfolio? We'll see what Annabelle says in the response in the chat. Michael Ivan, the Electra looks great. That's from. I'm sorry.
Thanks.
Brian Burns is the one that said, Annabelle, can we get a Harley Quinn portfolio? Robert Wilby says, Michael Ivan, the Electra looks great. William Lawson says, wow, love the background, just wow. Dan Nickel, I'm going to mispronounce your name, Dan. I'm so sorry. Dan Nicholscu says, hello, Kirby team. Greetings from Romania. William Lawson says, superb perspective.
Wow.
Let's see. Brian Burns says, wow, Gerald. Become a fan of says, okay, here's a good question. Are there certain colors you enjoy working with or find yourself going back to? Obviously, a lot of red for Daredevil and Elektra.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, I use a lot of red simply because I despise Facebook, and Facebook doesn't work well with red, so I just back on that, like, constantly.
So rebellious.
Political statement.
It's all the spite.
Fantastic. Let's see. Chthonic. I still don't know if I'm mispronouncing this. Chthonic Irrigation. Tim M here. How did everyone become a member of the Kirby's comic art team? Or does Annabelle just have a great mind control device that lures you all in?
Yeah, basically.
How did you guys get involved with Kirby's comic art? That's a good question.
Well, she called me and I couldn't understand anything she was saying, so that's how it started.
That's the same for me.
I thought I was talking to. I thought I was listening to some Telegram Morse or something. But it turns out
She was asking for a sandwich.
David, you look like you have a story.
Well, I do, but yeah, I want to also follow up on that. So when you spoke to her on the phone, it was difficult to understand her, but like clearly in person, like you understand her fine in person, right?
Yes.
I love her so much. Like,
Yes,
yes.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely love her so much. Like everything she just starts speaking, I just like, okay, just please tell me everything with your beautiful accent. I won't understand, but just please keep on talking.
But also, she is the only person that came to me personally, like art rep, that had a plan. So like, and she had something to offer, and it sounded really good. So yeah.
No, I'm joking.
This is a great opportunity. I like that everybody's saying positive things about Annabelle now.
Besides for the drugs.
Yeah, I think she just has an eye for talent too, and she just kind of scouts and picks people up and listens. And I think she likes. Seems like she likes to see people that are underrepresented too, that she thinks she can boost. I think that's she just has
also there's something that I appreciated that she said in the beginning was like she actually contacted people she loves, like the art she loves. So it's really a personal approach first, from what I recollect.
David, I saw you get up. Did you go grab something?
Oh yeah, I did.
Hang on, let me make you full screen here for a second.
Oh, okay. So Annabelle shared she had shared this piece already, which I think is sold already for the Comic Art Live.
Nice.
And there were some other pieces I did for it too. I don't know if she shared this one yet, but I think she's going to share it today.
Wow.
So she said I had some requests for like a Phoenix. So I did the Phoenix, and that sold quickly. So I wanted to do a Dark Phoenix also.
Fantastic.
Cool, man.
I think she shared this Message Sandman.
Wow.
And I also did this one for it.
It was really David's fault with the Sandman stuff, though. It was his series of Sandman pictures that got us all making Sandman art.
Is that right?
I think it started something a small thing, David could probably tell you about that, he had the catalog from Neverwhere.
Oh, right. So yeah, I work with Neil Gaiman's director of development. Her name's Kat Mihos. She runs Neverwhere.net, where she sells like related Neil Gaiman things for charity and so on. And I was doing like one of each of the endless characters, the 7 endless characters, for her and Neil Gaiman that she sells on the site to raise money for their charity things. And but she was selling it from the U.S. and a lot of the postage has become very expensive, like all over the world. And so normally she gives me like half of the run and lets me sell half the run at conventions. But because there were no conventions, she sells them online, and so I promote her stuff for people to buy online from her. But because there were no conventions, she said, "Well, go ahead and I'll give you half the run, and you can sell yours online." So I said, "Well, Annabelle has been selling some prints for me on Kirby's Comics Art. Would it be okay if she sells them, and she's selling them from the UK? So maybe all the people who are having trouble getting them from you in Europe because of the postage is so much can get them from Annabelle that way." So Kat Mihos gave us, permission for Kirby's Comics Art to sell the 7 endless characters that I had painted as prints, and I think that kind of Annabelle saw that as a great opportunity to, kind of celebrate it with all of the team and for all of us to do some art for it and make the catalog.
Yeah, and I think it started out just people were doing a couple little sketches, but then these little sketches turned into these full-blown, big art pieces. So it just kind of grew, like just everyone kind of inspired by each other after that.
Yeah.
By the way, Zoo is in the chat. So hey, Zoo.
Hey, Zoo.
Zoo.
Hey, Zoo. Yeah, I'll mention how I started working with Annabelle. I was at C2E2 in 2019, and everybody here with the team knows Ricky Beans, who works with Annabelle, and he's a big fan of X-23. And he came by my table and was looking at my stuff, and I think he got like an X-23 commission for me. And this was maybe like, I think this was March or April, C2E2 in 2019. And he said, "Hey, are you going to do Lake Como Comic-Con in May in Italy?" And I said, "Well, I haven't formally been invited to it, but I was invited to another thing around that time. I'm thinking about telling them I'm going to go do that." And he said, "Well, no, you shouldn't do that. You should definitely do Lake Como." And he goes, "Well, someone I work with, is going to be there, and like I'll just call Annabelle Kirby and tell her to give you an invite to it." And so I wasn't very familiar with Ricky or Annabelle or how they work together, but I said, "Oh, okay, yeah." So that Ricky Beans is really sort of the guy who kind of like recruited me to work with Annabelle, and then she sent me an email, and we discussed it. And I thought, well, before I make this plan, I'm gonna have a conversation with her. And she was in the UK, and we're on different time zones, and I was here in Los Angeles. But also when she called, I was at like a noisy restaurant. So I don't know if it was the connection, or the restaurant, or the time, or how each of us spoke. But like Gerald said, I was having some trouble trying to understand what she was saying on the. I'm familiar with British accents, but for some reason her British accent was very unusual. And I was hoping I was clear. I just thought maybe it was the connection. But miraculously, when we're in person with Annabelle, I understand her crystal clear. She's a very well-spoken person and a great communicator. But we kind of joke about about that first phone call we had, and then But anyway, we decided just to roll the dice, and I would go to Comic-Con. But I mentioned to her, like, well, I was going to go with this other amazing artist named Zoo. And she goes, "Oh, really? Another artist?" So I just sent her Zoo's Instagram, and then she said, "Oh, great! I will fly Zoo out here too. We'll fly you and Zoo, and host you here at the show, and Zoo will be That was kind of our initial thing with Annabelle was just for that Comic-Con specifically, just for Lake Como. That was the initial thing, but we just kept working together, including, and she's been great for Zoo too, in terms of reaching a larger audience.
That's fantastic. All right, I am really behind on the chat. I apologize, guys. David Jacoy wants to know everybody's favorite comic character. We'll go around the room. David, you want to start?
Well, my childhood, like I loved Spider-Man as a little kid, but I started reading comics with Daredevil, and so I have a lot of affection for Daredevil. That was my first work for Marvel too.
Gerald? Gerald?
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Favorite comic book character? There's two.
Yeah.
I don't know. My childhood favorite character was Iron Man. Definitely Iron Man. Because he's such a drunk. And, I mean, the human part was like really captivating, and he was more human than even the other characters. But I mean, there's like so many now that are interesting and have so much depth. So it's got big on Batman during in the 80s with the Dark Knight. But yeah.
Helena, what about you?
Okay, so I think my favorite character, like from American comics, is Wolverine. But the character that actually like made me like actually fell in love with comics and like me wanting to do comics was actually David Mack, Daredevil. Like his run with Brian Mendes was like, okay, so we can do this in comics, and I just like literally fell in love. And I'm not saying this because David is here, but that's actually my actual love story with comics. So I have a huge, deep connection with Daredevil too.
Very, very cool. Michael, what about you?
Yeah, probably when I was a kid, it was like Ninja Turtles and Spider-Man, probably, or something. There wasn't many comics coming out here. And then later, probably Batman and Swamp Thing, I think.
Oh.
And then I
Swamp Thing,
like a
nice.
lot of indie stuff, but yeah, as comic book characters. Like a small Swamp Thing with like Alan Moore run, that was awesome.
Very cool. And Casey, what about you?
I grew up as a big Incredible Hulk fan, so I stuck with him for a long time. And over the years now, I tend to follow like different artists and writers. But yeah, I've just always kind of had an affection for the pitiable monster.
All right.
Yeah.
So let me see what the next thing is. That Venom Spider-Man piece from Michael is amazing. That's from Dan Nichols.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
Let's see. Jeg says, very Dark Knight Returns looking Daredevil there. Casey, love it. Ryan Starr says, David, the newest Golden Wonder Woman was fantastic, and your Darth Vader cover is a thing of beauty. Thank you, Ryan.
Gratitude.
And let's see. Annalie says, are you guys planning on attending any conventions in the U.S.? I know the name is Stanley, but it would be funny if I said Stan Lee is asking. No, I'm just kidding. Stanley asked, are you guys planning to attend any conventions in the U.S.?
You know it's a lie.
Is Stan Lee going, over?
So what do you think, guys? U.S. cons? How do you feel about U.S. cons right about now?
I'm intending to do all the larger ones as soon as they have them. Last I heard, New York is happening, starting on my birthday again, October 7th. So I always like to be at the New York Comic Con during my birthday. I heard C2E2. I'm going to try to do that. Last I heard, Dragon Con is still happening at the end of August and early September. I'm planning to do that. Those are the ones off the top of my head in the U.S. that I can think of. But I heard that the Singapore Comic-Con, SGCC, is happening this year. I want to do that one. And I heard that the Tokyo Comic-Con is happening again this year. So those are some of the largest ones off the top of my head that I intend to be at.
Yeah, I think there's probably some logistics there too in terms of travel, like being able to go across the pond. So that may factor into it as well. But yeah, I think cons are definitely coming back. That's for sure. Let's see. Dan Nicholson also asked, speaking of conventions, any chance for some European ones as well? Yeah, David just mentioned a few good ones. Guys, for you guys that are overseas, do you guys plan on attending any European conventions?
I mean, I think not before I'm vaccinated.
Yeah, same here.
Moving before the vaccine.
Yeah, Europe is a bit behind with the vaccines, so we are not even thinking about it now.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Also, I don't know if there's anything planned, actually, like in terms of convention. Everything is on hold.
Yeah, they are more careful here. So either it will happen like smaller conventions or not at all. So let's see. Yeah. Maybe end of the year something will happen.
There were a lot of plans before COVID happened. We were going to be traveling all over the place, but
yeah. If I remember last year, we were planning to go to Lake Como Comic Con. We just left Italy in February, and then we were going to go back in May, and we had scheduled it for the week after to then go to Switzerland for
Basel
Fantasy in Switzerland. Oh, wow. And then we had scheduled it to fly to London the week after Switzerland. Yeah. We're going to take a train from Italy to Switzerland and then fly from Switzerland. So we were going to do like 3 European shows in a row, 3 different countries, and spend a week in each country.
Would have been awesome.
Yeah,
I'm really looking forward to that. But
we had so much planned last.
I was going to bring my mom to Switzerland, but no.
All right, let me see if I can catch up on the chat here. Pop Sequentialism says, "Hey David, hello from Matt and AI Kennedy." Let's see, Zoo. Yeah, there's Zoo. Hi fam. Richard Grant says, "Greatest of all time." Christian San Jose says, "Hello Zoo." Paul Dunn says, "Hello Zoo." Everybody's saying hello to Zoo in the chat. That's awesome. Okay, let's see if I can get to another question here. I was hoping, yeah, those pieces are probably going fast, guys. If you want any of that artwork on Kirby'sComicArt.com, be sure and don't sleep on that because some of that stuff's going to go really quick. Let me see what else we got here. Okay, Annabelle, it sounds like you need to take the whole Kirby's Comic Art team to Thought Bubble, see how they do with the Leeds accent.
Yeah.
I will never go.
Comics Art Connect says you are all awesome and agree that Annabelle is also amazing. Ricardo Pascal says Helena, my sister. Let's see, Kirby's Comic Art. We will be back first possible chance. And then the robotic Bill says, smash that thumbs up icon and leave a comment after the show. Oh, hang on. David was showing that piece again. Let me put that back. Go ahead, David. Show that.
Oh, it was just because Christian San Jose was commenting about the death pieces and that he may have to buy them. So
there we go.
They deserve to show them to him.
Oh, so nice. That one's awesome.
And I don't know if Annabelle was. She said she was going to put this up today, so this might be available now.
Okay. Well, I'm sure she's watching. Annabelle, do you know has that piece been listed?
It's available now.
If so, we'll promote it in the chat. So, all right, let's take another quick look at what everybody's doing. Gerald, I'm going to start with you. You want to give us kind of an update? So, real quick, what you got going there? There we go. Wow, coming along nicely.
Nice.
Phenomenal.
Helena, I'm going to show your piece real quick.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
What the?
Very good.
Started a new one.
Don't you dare.
Helena with the red paint,
Daredevil.
everybody. She always knows how to use that red paint. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, just out of spite.
Well, all about the usual
Let's
Hulk.
just remember. That's the reason.
I see that Bill made a comment, so giving a shout out to Bill.
Actually, that's the robotic Bill. I think that's just. I don't even think that's the real Bill. I think that's just a robot that says, "Hey, smash the like button." Michael, we're taking a look at your piece
He's
right
the
now.
Thank you, Robot Bill.
He's the nicest of them all.
Very, very nice. And Casey, let me see what we got going on here. Fantastic.
These guys are making masterpieces. Doodling.
Thanks.
Oh, Annabelle did. She did weigh in the chat. She says, "Yes, Dark Phoenix is live on Comic Art now." Oh, hang on, Gerald. Let me show that. Hang on. Let me go back to the. Let me get you full screen here. 1 second. Okay, let's see that piece one more time.
I just wanted to show I have the original, the real one, like for whoever follows the thing. This is for Monica Palos.
Wow.
Just want to promote another fellow artist from the Kirby team.
Fantastic.
Gerald,
that's the sketch.
Hey, Mark, this is another piece I sent Annabelle for this. I don't know if it's up yet. It's kind of a brush and ink.
Hang on, David. Let me get you. There we go.
Sweet.
Nice. That's great. Okay, so Annabelle says, yes, the Dark Phoenix is live on Comic Art Live now, or you can email me at kirbyscomicart@gmail.com. Zoo wants to say, amazing works as usual. And then Comic Art Live says, I'm the real Bill. Yeah, well, Bill Bot is not the real
exactly
Bill, so we have to differentiate from what is the real Bill.
We don't believe you.
Don't believe the Bill Bot. The Bill Bot's lying to you.
Nice.
Casey's adding some color in. Let me see if we can.
Yeah, I got to catch up to these.
Some full screen here on Casey. There we go. Adding in
I'm
some
upset with all my teammates for being so good. You know,
Come on, shut up.
He's using the yellow because yellow doesn't like work on YouTube or something.
Yellow doesn't make social media angry.
It's bad for StreamYard.
Yellow is nice and easy.
Yellow is friendly.
I
Actually,
imagine
I bought the new iMac in yellow because yellow is better than orange, and we all know that.
after the last time we did this, when Helena was doing that red Sonia, I just imagine that off to the side, Helena has like buckets of red paint.
I do.
You
laugh,
know
but I
that
do.
Casey would draw red Sonia yellow. Because yellow is friendly.
The Yellow Hulk.
Just a what if series, and it's just all the characters in yellow.
Wasn't sure about this. Like, you never see the original costume too much, and just thought it'd be kind of fun to.
I like it.
I figured no one would do the original, like, because the red costume's so nice. But sometimes I like seeing this one.
Yeah, I dig the yellow costume.
I dig it too.
Let's see here. Stanley wants to know, again, Stanley, I am so tempted to pronounce your name as Stan Lee. Are artists ever competitive
So Stanley
with
and Bill Bott.
Stan Lee and Bill Bott. Stanley wants to know, are artists ever competitive with each other? That's a good question.
Oh, fuck yes.
Come on.
All the time.
All the time.
Never.
No, we are
that's an
like
interesting question.
all drawing.
I don't know what to do.
Because
That's the only reason artists get better, because they are like competitive.
What is
we
competition?
hate each other and we want to get better. Just,
Well, I don't
show each other who's better.
I don't get the sense that anybody like hates each other or anything.
No.
that's just
I
because
do.
everyone loves you.
Just yeah. You don't know what it is to be Helena. Sorry.
Well, David is such a nice guy that if you hate him, you've got some kind of personal problem or something at that point.
Yeah.
No, I think it's really amazing that so many of the artists on this team and a lot of the artists that we associate with, or the artists that I'm a fans of, are usually people who kind of are like, they've kind of created their own niche or their own lane, and they're kind of doing their own thing. So I don't think of it so much as competition, but it's always like eye-opening if you see like another artist that does something that you just wouldn't. It's not really in your worldview, and so they kind of make your world bigger when they do something like a little unusual that like you go like, oh yeah, there's some dimension for that too. That gets me to think in a different way, and those are usually like the kind of artists that I'm interested in. Is every time they do something new, it kind of challenges you to think of something in a new way, and that kind of enriches your own work.
Some credit to Annabelle there too, right? Like picking up a crew that's so diverse in style, but recognizing the quality. I'm not talking about mine. I just mean,
Stop it, Casey.
I think everyone inspires each other though. Like you see all the awesome work happen. It's like you have to kind of up your game to, but it's all very friendly kind of.
I kind of get the impression like some people they have like a certain groove that isn't necessarily the groove that you're trying to do. But every now and then, like you see something they do, and you're like, oh yeah, that's really interesting. That really kind of like challenges me or kind of informs. That could even consciously or subconsciously inform how I look at the next thing I do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's like a friendly competition, really. Yeah.
Yeah.
When we're not live, I tell Gerald I hate him for his work.
I think we all have.
Thank you.
But no, it's all very inspiring. It's amazing group of people.
So Helena, like when you mentioned Daredevil, like you said, like you saw like the Daredevil that I did with Bendis growing up, like when Bendis and I were growing up, we were reading like the Frank Miller, Klaus Janson, and like the Frank Miller, Bill Sienkiewicz, like Love and War. And then we got to co-write a project called Daredevil End of Days that Bendis and I wrote together, but the artists we got to work with on it were Klaus Janson and Bill Sienkiewicz. And so
I remember that.
These are guys that like.
Were you there?
Yeah, she was right there. Yeah, these are guys that
No, I mean I read it. I'm sorry.
Like not only like inspired us to do what we do, but guys that we actually learned a lot of the fundamentals from, and then kind of like more than the fundamentals from when we were kind of in our formative years. So it wasn't any kind of competition when we were working together, but it was really amazing that like each creator was bringing their kind of A game, and it was kind of pushing you to challenge yourself to go to the next level too.
Dan Nicholsou says it was super awesome when all the artists had a Sandman themed week. Can't wait for something like that to happen again. That would be an Annabelle question, I think, but yeah, that was awesome. Very awesome.
Well, it sounds like there's a lot of requests for that. Maybe we should do that again.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Yeah, it'll happen again for sure. For sure.
It seemed like it was a really successful event that she did. It seemed like the art sold out pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was. I don't want to say like unexpected, but I mean, it was unexpected. I mean, I didn't know like people were interested in like that kind of product. I mean, they're so used to, like just make original art and then just have Annabelle come up with this idea of just having a catalog. That was like really like out of nowhere, and I'm so glad like people loved it.
Let's see in the chat. Become a Fan of is asking, how do you all decide on a characterization or mood of a piece? Do you look at the pose that you start with, or is it the eyes or the look on the character's face that informs your decision?
In general, or
I think like how do you decide on the mood or the character of a piece? Basically saying, do you look at the pose? So is it the body language, or is it maybe the character's face? What makes you decide on the mood of a piece?
I think it's a storytelling thing.
Yeah. If you're doing a story, it's going to be about what's in service of the story, right?
Yes.
But if it's just something that we're just doing for fun, or on our own, or for Comic Art Live, that's kind of just a totally different challenge than if you're trying to communicate a story and the atmosphere of the story.
Okay, Dan Nicholsou has a great question. Tell us your weirdest commission requests.
Oof. I can't.
I don't know if we can say it live.
No.
Yeah, I've definitely had some weird ones and just turned them down. Like I just wasn't interested in doing them.
I've heard some pretty weird ones going around at the shows.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They're like the weird guys. The ones that like just come at you and just I will fuck you up and just say like something.
What?
Yeah, something like please draw me the tiger from Frosties. Something like that.
I have a really boring story, but so like when I started, like I was like doing like European comic book, and there was this guy that would go like everywhere he could to meet me and ask me to draw an Asian woman.
Why?
So I took it personally because I have I'm Asian, and I thought like he had like something, a message or something. But like he kept asking me again and again. And one day I was like probably a bit too tired, let's say, and I told him, man, like can you just like give me a break and ask me something else? But he told me like it's because, and I totally thought he had like some, he was like a bit, sick. To ask me like such a always the same like, and it turns out he told me like he lost his wife and she was Asian, and the story goes deeper, but like I'm not gonna
so
kill the mood right now.
Sad.
Because I just want to destroy the mood. No, because it's like those weird things, and you think it's weird, and sometimes there is a reason behind it.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
But sometimes not at all.
Well, there's definitely strange asks for sure, though.
Luke Carey in the chat asks, do you have time to draw for fun? And if so, what do you like to draw?
I only draw for fun.
And then luckily they pay you for it.
No, but for real, it's like, I don't know, like, if it's like so terrible to do, like, I do force myself sometimes, but like, it has to be something you like, otherwise, like, I would do another job, I guess.
It's all for fun.
Yeah, if it's not fun, then why do it, right?
Yes.
Money.
Yeah, well, I do like doing work that, I mean, so much of our work is for, there is an expectation of a result, if it's for a project, if it's for a published project, right? So I do like to make time just to do work where I have no expectations of what it's going to be or how it's going to be, or I'm not worried about how people will look at it or what they'll think. I think it's a good exercise for me to do that. And a lot of what I like doing for fun, if I have time, is just drawing from life, from like a live human, like a live figure, because there's also an aspect of, if that person's posing a certain way, I feel like even if it's not a rush, I feel like I have to do it really quickly. And so like when I'm drawing really quickly in ink, it kind of forces me to draw without thinking, without fussing too much about stuff and making really quick decisions. Because, really what you're doing is like, if you're looking at like a real human, there's a lot of information. And the main thing you're doing is choosing what information to leave out, right? So, and if I'm drawing from a live person, I tend to do it really quickly, and that forces me to make those decisions immediately. And I think it kind of can inform my other work. But I also feel like you're drawing somebody from life, you feel like a connection, like so often we're just working alone, right? So it's kind of nice to be also, connected to, someone else to be there when you're drawing.
Yes.
All right, let's see. Good answer, Gerald from Luke Carey. Robert Wilby says, I have an Electra by David. I have a feeling I need another Electra. You can never have too many Electras. I think that's a safe thing to say. What do you? Okay, this is kind of a good follow-up question. Luke Carey says, after the do you draw for fun? What do you like to draw? What do you draw just for you?
Oh.
Like if you were just going to draw something for your own amusement or your own self-satisfaction, what would you prefer to draw?
I draw trees.
Trees?
Yeah. Trees and like weird branches and stuff like that. Nobody cares about that but me.
Nothing wrong with that. Gerald's laughing. But...
Yeah, I used to draw like animals
because I was surprised. It's like not because of the... I don't know.
I think most of these guys are probably so busy drawing, because of their commissions or whatnot, that they don't have time to just draw for themselves.
I mean, I do.
But still, that is a good
question. I have my own little comic book. I do like storytelling because like what I do for work, it's not storytelling.
Oh wow, this is totally not okay. There we go. All right, let me see. Let's check in on everybody here and see what the progress is. Michael, let's see what we got here. Very nice.
Thanks.
Very, very nice. All right, let's go to Casey. See what we got going there. Oh, coming along nicely, sir.
Just do the one,
Nice.
Start.
Helena, would you mind can we see that from a different perspective, or is it too hard for you to move your camera? If it's too hard, don't worry about it. Oh, there you
go. Wait, I think I messed it up. Wait, just a sec.
Sure, no problem.
I'm sorry, I'm dumb.
You're not.
There's that red ink that we're talking about.
So it's not your fault.
Okay.
Don't spill it.
Yeah, don't spill the ink. David saw what I saw.
Where's the camera? Okay.
Okay.
Maybe.
Almost there. There it is. Very nice.
That's really nice.
I have no idea how this thing is holding up. Wait, okay. Ta-da! Wow.
And Gerald, let's take a look at your progress and see what you've got there.
It really changed from last time.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. Very, very cool.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
And David, I know you can't show us, but we're just going to imagine whatever you're doing is
I'll
awesome.
show you some other stuff. This
Oh,
one that Annabelle has for sale. Here's a Sandman. And this was a recent Shadow Man cover that I did. I think that's available. And from those Sandman prints, I have a here. This is Destiny. This one's available. And Despair. And let's see, Destruction is in here too. Oh, this is his dog, Barnabas.
Fantastic. Wow, that's great. Oh my gosh. This has been so much fun. Guys, thank you so much. We're gonna kind of wind it down, but we actually don't have another panel to cut to. So we'll just kind of let you guys finish out. I'm going to make sure did everybody in the chat get to ask everything they want to ask? If anybody didn't get their question, now's the time to do it because we're going to start winding this down. But I just want to say a huge thank you to Annabelle and Kirby's Comic Art. If you guys want to find out more about these artists, if you'd like to purchase an original piece of artwork, you can go to kirbyscomicart.com. And we very much appreciate them being a part of what we do here. David is still showing pieces. Look at that, Freddie Mercury. Oh my gosh, that is fantastic. Wow. David, are these? What are these for? Oh my gosh, look at that.
Oh, I just did a cover to it was like the first official Freddie Mercury graphic novel with the Freddie Mercury estate. I did the cover for it, and I just made it public the other day. Here's some pieces I did for Stranger Comics.
Wow.
Awesome.
I noticed somebody was asking about if any of us collect original art too, which might be a fun. I want to say, like in New York, Casey came by my table and let me know that Dennis Kitchen was selling some of Will Eisner's art, approved by the Will Eisner estate. And so I'm glad he did, because it gave me a great chance to step away from the table and look at all this original Will Eisner art, which was amazing. And I always wanted an original piece of Will Eisner art. So, I end up getting, a few pieces there directly from his kitchen. And when we were in Bologna last year in Italy, I was able to find an original Mobius piece. And that was I got two different Sergio. No, I got two finished Sergio Topi pages, but I got like three doodles as well of Sergio Topi, who I'm a big fan of. And when I went to Italy, I actually said, I was like, I want to find some Sergio Topi artwork, when I'm in Italy. And was lucky enough to get some. And I was also looking for a Mobius piece.
I can only imagine your collection. That was so awesome, meeting Dennis Kitchen and seeing all that Will Eisner. I couldn't believe that. The prices were really reasonable. I was able to get a couple little pieces for myself too. It's like
you got some great ones.
Yeah, like just little gems. Like one's a really nice sketch of the spirit, like kind of just walking down the sidewalk,
Yeah, I have a few Frank Frazetta originals. Not the fully finished oil paintings, that sell for $5 million, but I've got some of his the studies for some of his famous paintings, which are kind of like small watercolor studies. Phenomenal.
I'm so jealous.
It was something I wanted to go to his museum before COVID hit too. There's another plan, like a kibosh.
Yeah.
COVID. I blame Gerald.
I got an original Helena Masellis.
Oh yeah, right.
She's in Italy.
Yeah, she.
Hey, David, I have to ask David, does it have a lot of red on it?
Not this particular one. Yeah. Maybe, I guess this one wasn't for Facebook.
The one that was on Facebook. My hatred hasn't yet come on out fully yet. Then it's an acquired taste, hate.
Well, let's see. We got Annabelle has a fantastic collection of original art, says Robert Wilby. You better believe it. Kirby'sComicArt.com, guys. Be sure and check it out. And again, if you guys are interested in picking up a piece from any of the artists that you see here right now, Kirby'sComicArt.com is the place to do it. Annabelle will take good care of you. Say hi to her. She's in the chat. Annabelle says, I gifted Zoo an original piece by Helena for Zoo's birthday last year.
Oh yeah, everyone has a piece by me. I have an original Gerald Parel,
I have one from YouTube.
Yours for YouTube?
The Genesis one.
From YouTube.
What you say?
I do. It's in my studio.
Mark, this might be interesting. Also, because people ask about Echo and stuff, but also it's about original art. When we were in Italy last year, we went to Rome and we visited Gabrielle.
Why are you laughing? What is the matter with you? I'm sorry. People laugh.
Go ahead, David.
So if everyone's familiar with the artist Gabriel Del Otto, his studio is based in Rome. And I had first met him, I think maybe 2002, something like that. We were signing in Paris together and at Angoulême in France. And we kind of really hit it off. And he was just starting out. He had done a certain amount of stuff for Panini in Europe, but he hadn't done anything in the States yet. And I loved his stuff. And at the time, they had asked me to write a new Echo story after I had introduced Echo and Daredevil. And my idea was that I was going to write it, and then Gabriel De Otto was going to do the art for it. So he started sending me paintings and drawings of Echo that I could show to Marvel to try to get him the job for it. And I ended up showing it to Joe Quesada and also Bendis. And Bendis loved this stuff, and he gave him a job instead on the Secret War project back then, which was I think that was his first, for Marvel US first job. And I ended up he ended up not being able to do the art for the Echo project that I wanted him for, but he did all these really cool Echo pieces and finished paintings but it still got him work at Marvel, and he continued working. But I ended up just having to do the art for this Echo story myself, because with the schedule, he was doing something else. And when we visited his studio, this is 20 years later, he pulled out one of those original Echo paintings that I kind of used to get him his job at Marvel, and he gave it to me as a gift.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Studio in Rome, and it was amazing.
That's fantastic. That's a wonderful story, and it kind of shows you the fact that his appreciation, because I'm sure he looks at that piece and thinks, if it wasn't for David and that particular situation, who knows where I would be right now. That's a wonderful gift of him to do that. That's great. I see Bill is lurking in our room. Let me see if he wants to come in here and chat. Bill, do you want to come in and chat?
Yeah, I am.
There he is.
Yeah, David, I just have to tell you, I just bought that Wolverine that you showed earlier. I didn't know it was in the booth, and then I saw it, so I emailed Annabelle, and she has told me that it is mine. So thank you so much.
Fantastic. Very cool. Thank you.
I've always appreciated your work, and I've seen you at shows so many times, and I've never picked up anything. So I saw that. I knew I had to have it. I had promised my wife that I wasn't going to buy any art during this show. She's not watching right now. Yeah. But I have added.
See what you done, David?
But yeah, I wanted to thank everybody for doing this. The second time that Kirby's has got many of their team into our panels, and it's a real honor to have you guys here. And I just appreciate it. Annabelle's been great supporting the show, and I hope we do more together in the November show as well.
Yeah, thanks. It's been a lot of fun, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
That's my honor.
For hosting. It's awesome.
And we've been very fortunate to, this show has gone really well, and I can't tell you how great it's been just to see the turnout and a lot of the positive feedback that I've been getting from the sellers. So definitely a positive. And Annabelle's always been great, though. But again, David, I just had to let you know that yes, I finally have a piece of your art in my collection.
Oh, so cool! Thanks so much, Bill.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a regular love fest in the chat for Kirby'sComicArt.com. So everybody's talking about how much they love Annabelle. Ben Napier says you're going to be in big trouble, Bill.
I think she's taking a nap now. She's worked the better part of the last 48 hours too to make sure the show goes off really well. So I don't think she's watching.
And again, big hi to Zoo. Thank you for joining us in the chat.
Definitely.
And she agrees. Annabelle is the best.
All right. Well, hey, I got to go back to work, but I just want to pop in and thank you all. Thank you so much. And if anybody wants to tune in at 6 o'clock, I will be doing a recap for everyone to just give me feedback for the show so that we can make the November show even better. So thank you again, everybody. Night. It's been a great day so far.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, thanks so much.
Very, very cool.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. All right, guys, we're going to wind this down, but before we do, I want to show, once again, we're going to show real quickly everybody's pieces and what they've been doing. David has shown us some amazing pieces. And David, I just want to say a big thank you to you for jumping in here as a special surprise guest. It was awesome to have you on the show.
Thanks so much.
Sharing those great stories, too. Thank you very much for that.
It's good to see you, too.
Great to see everyone from the team here, too.
And Dave, I just want to say I'm so proud of all that stuff happening with Echo and everything you've been doing, and it's just been awesome seeing all that work happening.
Oh, thanks, man. Well, like what I say,
guys,
if you just stick around for 20 or 30 years,
I want to be reincarnated as David Mack.
Okay, so let's take another look at Michael's piece here real quick.
Yeah.
Wow, fantastic. That's great. So much energy in there, too. That's great.
Thanks.
And let's take a look at Casey.
Yeah, it's still a lot to do with this guy. I got to bloody him up a bit.
Coming along nicely, sir.
Awesome.
By the way, Casey, from an artist perspective, that board you're working on is way too clean. I mean your actual drawing table.
Well, normally I actually have more paper and stuff behind it blocking it, but
he cleaned up for the show.
Gerald, we saw your piece, but just in case anybody missed it, can you show it one more time for us?
Yes.
Lionheart.
Oh,
man, that's terrific. Awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And then one last time with Helena.
Wait,
we'll be making full screen here.
How the camera works? Wait.
I know I'm not the only one that Helena makes me so nervous when she turns that piece and those the ink little ink jars right there.
She adds the drama.
That's fantastic. Wow. Terrific. Thank you, guys. This has been so much fun. I hope you guys have had a good time, and we really appreciate you taking the time to join us. Once again, want to give a wonderful shout-out to Annabelle and Kirby'sComicArt.com. Big shout-out to everybody in the chat. Thank you for joining us on Comic Art Live. Gerald, Casey, Michael, Helena, and David, thank you so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, everybody, check out the next panel. We will have another panel coming up at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time with Bill Cox. So tune in for that, and we will see you on the next Comic Art Live. Once again, if any of these artists, if you would like to own any artwork from any of these artists, please check out Kirby'sComicArt.com. And Annabelle in the chat, thank you so much for all that you do. We appreciate everything that you've done with us and for us. Guys,
thank you.
Love you all. Thank you. You rock.
Thanks. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.